Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of 1 Samuel, the 19th chapter. As we saw or went through in the 18th chapter, we saw that, Saul started to become an enemy unto David, really through envy, and fear of the Lord being with David and David rising up. So Saul felt threatened by that. So this is 1 Samuel 19 and 1. And Saul spake to Jonathan his son, and to all his servants, that they should kill David. But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted much in David. And Jonathan told David, saying, Saul, my father, seeketh to kill thee. So Saul basically was given an order to Jonathan and the rest of his servants to assassinate David. But Jonathan loved David so much that he didn't want to do that. So he ends up informing David. And he says, Now therefore I pray thee, take heed to thyself until the morning, and abide in a secret place, and hide thyself. So they're going to try to probably assassinate you tonight or ASAP. So, matter of fact, just if anything, just go and hide. And go out and stand beside, and I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where thou art. So basically, he told David to leave, basically just leave, go and hide in the field, and I'll come there with my father, and I'm going to talk with him concerning the matter. And then after that, I'll let you know, you can hear what he had to say, to confirm to David, right, that this indeed it was what Saul had devised against him. Because yeah, even though Saul launched a javelin at him, then again Saul had an evil spirit on him. So like you could give him the benefit of the doubt there. But Jonathan was here letting David know that no, Saul is deliberately, he wants to kill you. This isn't like one of his episodes. So to prove that, he said, you know what, just go hide, and I'm going to confirm by speaking to him and letting you know. Verse 3, and I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where thou art, and I will commune with him will commune with my father of thee, and what I see, that I will tell thee. And Jonathan spake good of David unto Saul his father, and said unto him, Let not the king sin against his servant, against David, because he hath not sinned against thee, and because his works have been to thee word very good. So don't commit the sin in trying to kill David. He hasn't done anything wrong to you. All he's done has been good towards you. For he did put his life in his hand and slew the Philistine. Putting his life in his hand, meaning he risked his life and slew the Philistine, being Goliath. And the Lord Yahweh wrought a great salvation for all Israel. See, so the Lord used him to bring great deliverance to Israel. Thou sawest it and didst rejoice. So even you were there, and you were happy when you saw that. Wherefore then wilt thou sin against innocent blood, to slay David without cause? So while you commit this grievous sin to slay an innocent person without it's not justified. And Saul hearkened unto the voice of Jonathan, and Saul sware, As the Lord Yahweh liveth, he shall not be slain. And Jonathan called David, and Jonathan shewed him all those things. Now, uh, Jonathan didn't call David right when Saul was there. Verse 7 is later. So later on, Jonathan calls David and basically shows him, look, this is all the things that I said to him. This is what he said. And Jonathan brought David to Saul, and he was in his presence as in times past. So almost like reconciling him, right? And saying, look, he's good. He promised, he swore actually that he wouldn't try to kill you or anything. So, we're all good. So David was back in the court, playing the harp for Saul and basically doing what he used to do before. And there was war again, and David went out, being that he was a captain, and fought with the Philistines, and slew them with a great slaughter, and they fled from him. So yet again, his reputation was growing. And the evil spirit from the Lord was upon Saul, as he sat in his house with his javelin in his hand. And David played with his hand, being the harp, to calm Saul. But meanwhile, he has a javelin in his hand. And Saul sought to smite David even to the wall with the javelin, but he slipped away out of Saul's presence. Now remember, David was a man of war as well. So, in war, you got to have good reflexes, right? You have enemies coming at you, from left, right, any which way, with a sword, with a spear, with arrows. So, when Saul launched that javelin, David was able to dodge it and then escape and leave. And he smote the javelin into the wall. See, so basically Saul threw the javelin at David. David, moved out of the way, and then the javelin just like etched into the wall, and then David fled and escaped that night. Saul also sent messengers onto David's house to watch him and to slay him in the morning, so pretty much to go assassinate David. And Michal, David's wife, told him, saying, "If thou save not thy life tonight, tomorrow thou shalt be slain." So if you don't leave this very night, they're gonna kill you tomorrow. So Michal let David down through a window, and he went and fled and escaped. And Michal took an image and laid it in the bed, an image being an idol, because with the way they construct the idols, it would look like a head or a body. So she put it in David's bed and put a pillow of goat's hair for his bolster, meaning as like the head where um like a pillow that you put your head on. She made one of goat's hair and put it there and put the idol on it so it looked like somebody sleeping, and covered it with a cloth. And when Saul sent messengers to take David, she said, "He is sick, so he can't come." And then the messengers returned to Saul, and Saul sent them back again to see David, saying, "Bring him up to me in the bed that I may slay him." So if he's sick, bring him here with the bed, and I'm going to kill him. And when the messengers were come in, behold, there was an image in the bed. So when they finally made their way in, they take the sheet off and they see, ah, shit, we've been duped. So they saw the idol and the goat's hair at the head like a pillow. And Saul said unto Michal, "Why hast thou deceived me so, and sent mine enemy away, or sent away mine enemy, that he is escaped?" And Michal answered Saul, "He said unto me, Let me go. Why should I kill thee?" So basically, he threatened my life. He threatened to kill me if I didn't help him escape. And obviously, she was saying that using wisdom because she didn't want it to seem like she was colluding with David, or else with Saul's mental state, she didn't know what he would have done. So David fled and escaped, and came to Samuel to Ramah, and told him all that Saul had done to him. And he and Samuel went and dwelt in Naioth. And I believe Naioth was another city or region or town in Ramah. And it was told Saul, saying, "Behold, David is at Naioth in Ramah." Because remember, Saul had agents pretty much everywhere, right? So when he put out the word, yo, if you see David, let it be known, inform Saul. They basically informed Saul. And Saul sent messengers to take David. And when they saw the company of the prophets prophesying, and Samuel standing as appointed over them, the Spirit of God was upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied. See, now, once again, in this case, you can imagine this had to be like an uncontrollable spirit that jumped on those messengers or those troops that were sent to come and get David, to where they couldn't help. Like it's almost like they couldn't control themselves, and they just started prophesying. Now in this case, it could have been just either like speaking praises of the Lord, a hymn, or just all those kinds of things, because those that is still like accounts as being under divine influence, right? Nowadays we think of prophesying in like the soul and one sense of speaking prophecies, right? But there was more to it than that, especially in the context of what we're reading over here. So this was like an uncontrollable spirit that came upon them, to where they couldn't help but to prophesy as well, right? Whether it was in the form of singing or praising or whatever the case is. And this prevented them from actually doing their job to come and get David. And verse 21, it says, "And when it was told Saul, he sent other messengers, and they prophesied likewise." So he sent another batch, and they came there. They also got, hit in this like trance, and they couldn't help themselves. They couldn't get the job done. And Saul sent messengers again the third time, and they prophesied also. Then went he also to Ramah, and came to a great well that is in Seku. And he asked and said, "Where are Samuel and David?" And one said, "Behold, they be at Naioth in Ramah." So he himself came there this time. And he went thither to Naioth in Ramah, and the Spirit of God was upon him also, and he went on and prophesied until he came to Naioth in Ramah. So when he got there, the Lord's Spirit jumped on him too, and then he couldn't help but prophesy as well. So the reason I say that is because coming there with the intention of apprehending David, and it says that he prophesied, this had to be done uncontrollably, because that would be the only way that you could actually stop him from doing what he came there to do. If he was just like almost like forced in this trance to just act according as the Spirit had jumped on him to do, which here was classified as prophesying. And he stripped off his clothes also, and prophesied before Samuel in like manner, and lay down naked all the day and all that night. Wherefore they said, "Is Saul also among the prophets?" Now it doesn't mean that Saul did not strip naked like you would think. What it means is his like royal robes and outer, all that jewelry and stuff he took off. Okay. And was basically subject to the spirit of prophecy that was on him. And so once again, there goes the saying, right? When people saw it, they were like, "Wait, is Saul also amongst the prophets? Is he a prophet now?" And that is how the Lord delivered David out of Saul's hand that day. And that also brings us to the end of 1 Samuel, the 19th chapter. And Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.